So this is explore Priestley's presentation of Gerald in the play. You must consider language, form and structure in your answer. This pupil went on to get a 9, so he's very capable. Okay. Anyway, so I thought I would share this with you. Think that'll be helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll read it out loud. Gerald is shown to be a well-off, quote, attractive and, quote, well-bred young man who is about to marry the Burlings' daughter Sheila. He seems comfortable with the Burling family, even teasing their son, Eric, jokingly suggesting he's been up to something, quote. Priestley uses Gerald's good, seemingly unblemished status to comment that not everything is as it seems, as later revealed by his affair with Daisy Renton. This is hinted at when Sheila half seriously, half playfully, quote, berates him for, quote, never coming near her during the summer in which Gerald was secretly in a relationship with Eva Smith, at that point still unknown to Sheila. Thus, Gerald is composed of an unblemished means unscarred, looking perfect, outer shell, but not so clean inside. Indeed, when Gerald states that they're respectable citizens, unquote, the inspector replies, quote, he wouldn't know where to draw the line, unquote, again reinforcing Priestley's portrayal of Croft. So there's a good use of quotes in there, isn't there? Lots of short quotes that give you a very sound grasp of Gerald's character.
Yeah.
And also, the introduction, it gives you an overview of him. He's really perfect, but inside he's pretty imperfect. He has this affair with Daisy Renton and he just drops her, doesn't he? And he's planning to get married to someone else, so that's not really very acceptable, is it? Having an affair with someone while you're actually planning to marry someone else. That's not really very ethical, is it?
No.
So I would say that he's actually portrayed as pretty ropey, actually, Gerald. Wouldn't you agree? Not very nice. Sometimes in the novel, Gerald is seen quite unfavourably, such as when at first mention of Daisy Renton's name, wants and tries to deny any knowledge of her existence and suggests to Sheila that he keep it from the inspector. However, Priestley does not make him a one-dimensional character through Gerald's display of honesty, such as when he tells the inspector that he met Daisy a second time, quote, not accidentally this time, of course. A detail he did not have to give to the inspector. And when Sheila sarcastically remarks that Gerald must have adored playing the fairy prince with Daisy, he admits that he did for a time. Displaying an honesty even Sheila praises immediately after. So he does turn out to be honest. And able to look at himself, basically. However, despite Gerald's apparent grief about Eva Smith's death, admitting that he is upset, quote, and displays shock upon the discovery, comma, Gerald seems to let the audience down at the end of the novel. Yes, he does let us down. He's absolutely right. When he discovers that Inspector Gould is not a real police inspector, Mr. Burling states that it makes all the difference, quote, to which Gerald replies, of course, quote, not only is the agreement saddening since it shows that Gerald no longer feels a personal responsibility for the death of Eva Smith, only caring about reputation, thus rejecting Gould's message, quote, that we all are all responsible for one another. So he's got the key quote in there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The quote we always want to put in there, we are all responsible for one another. We are all responsible for one another. I'm responsible for you. You're responsible for me. I'm responsible for my mum and dad. you're responsible for your mum and dad, they're responsible for you, we're responsible for the cleaning ladies and people we meet in the street. We're responsible for one another. We should make sure we don't exploit people. So this is a moral and ethical text. The exclamation mark, we are responsible for one another. The exclamation mark displaying enthusiasm makes it even more disheartening. So the really nice analysis of language there, actually, of course, where he has that exclamation mark. So he's actually he's really glad that the inspector turns out to be not real.
Mummy, she's gonna come, okay? She's taking a long time. See? My parents are out and my brother came upstairs.
So your brother came upstairs, he's worried about your mum not being home. Oh.
What? Mummy said, check who's there. It's Mummy. Go open the door.
Go and open the door for, yeah, you don't want to let in anybody.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, no worries. Bless him. How old is he?
He's 7.
Oh, okay. So Mum is home. We can carry on reading.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the reader's left to decide whether he will change his ways and accept his responsibility for all around him. The context of the play suggests not. Gerald Croft is a representation of the 1910s New Generation quote that could or could not bring about the change their fathers, portrayed by Mr. Burling, did not bring, resulting in the Great War. So there's lots of lovely context there, actually. However, the outbreak of the Second World War, the fire, blood and anguish mentioned by the inspector, suggests that Gerald and his generation did not learn the inspector's lesson, resulting in Gould's ominous prediction. Instead, Priestley suggests that only the generation after Gerald would learn the lesson. Oh, this is a very good essay, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
We like this a lot. So basically, yeah, instead, Priestley suggests that only the generation after Gerald would learn the lesson. Following the election of a new socialist Labour government, Priestley would have supported. Oh, so he's got a real understanding of, the historical context, basically. And in fact, yeah, Sheila and Erica changed, but, a substantial portion of people in the play aren't, are they? The mother, the father, and Gerald. So 3 of them have changed and 2 of them aren't, and one's dead. So yeah, he's pointing out a problem that people didn't tackle, and now you've got another chance to tackle after the Second World War, hasn't he? Because it was written in and performed in 1945, wasn't it? First of all.
Yeah.
So, did you find that essay helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah. You did? Oh, good. Okay, so that's a really good essay, actually. Yeah, so that's how to write a really good essay. Beautifully written. Really enjoyed reading that. When I was an examiner, I used to love getting essays like this. Made it all worthwhile. All right then, so